Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition Platinum Max, and today I'm going to review it for you guys. Before we begin, I want to thank Koch 33 Ford for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Ford needs, you can visit Koch 33 right off of Route 33 in Easton, Pennsylvania, or at their website, koch33.net. Starting out up front on the Expedition, you'll get this giant chrome grille with this huge Ford logo. Implemented into that is a camera right here for your 360-degree camera system. Also in the safety department up front, you'll have parking sensors down here all across the front. Next to your parking sensors, you're also going to get tow hooks down here. Moving up here, you'll have LED turn signals as well as LED headlights and this really nice C-shaped design LED daytime running light that flows right into the chrome grille. I really like how they've implemented that. It's really cool design language on the Expedition here. And you'll also get LED fog lights as well. Overall, I think they did an excellent job up front here. It kind of sticks to the corporate Ford design while still looking aggressive. Personally though, I think I like the GMC Yukon's design a little bit more. In addition, I complained on the GMC Yukon how I wish their giant chrome grille was actual chrome and it was plastic. It's the same thing on this Expedition. It is plastic, though it still does look really aggressive. Moving underneath the hood, I was surprised to find out this Expedition is powered by a 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6. I would have thought for sure a vehicle this big would be powered by a V8, but I was then duly surprised by the numbers that this EcoBoost V6 puts out. This has 470 pound-foot of torque and 375 horsepower. This thing really hauls. I'd stick around for the driving segment later. I'm very impressed with this engine inside this Expedition. Now moving on to the profile of the Expedition and starting here with the wheels, you have 285 45R tires wrapped around these 22-inch wheels, and I happen to really like the design. Now I want to address some criticism I've gotten in the past. A lot of people say, oh, well, you say you like the wheel design all the time on these big vehicles, these huge SUVs with these giant 22, 23-inch wheels. And there's truth in that. I really do like how they look, but then people reply and they say, you know, that's impractical. Like on the Ram 1500 I did, I love the wheel design on that. And they say, well, how could I take this Ram off-road, you know, or how can I take this Platinum Expedition off-road? It's got a gigantic wheel and such a tiny tire. Personally though, I think when you have a luxury vehicle like this, the larger wheels look a lot better. And honestly, they fit the design more. I think it kind of looks dorky to have a tiny wheel with a huge tire when you're getting such a high trim. I mean, honestly, how many people are taking their Ram 1500 Limited or their Ford Expedition Platinum really off-roading? And I mean more than just parking on your friend's lawn at his summer barbecue. That does not count as off-roading, as much as I'd like to think it does. Ooh, I love parking on grass. Continuing on with the profile of this Expedition Platinum, we get to the mirrors. Now this mirror has more features than my last car did, so I'm going to try to cover everything. First off, you get a turn signal indicator right here. That's pretty common nowadays. What's also becoming more common is a camera down here. That's to use with the 360-degree camera system. In addition, you'll get heated mirrors, blind spot monitoring, power mirrors, and they are power folding mirrors as well. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I would not want to live in a big city like New York with a vehicle as big as this. I imagine if one of the mirrors got knocked off, it would be in the thousands to replace. Moving further down the profile of the Expedition, you'll get a Platinum badge right here. This does have keyless entry, so you just have to have the key on you and it will lock and unlock automatically. When you do open the door, you get power folding running boards, as you can see right here. And then when you close it up, they will automatically fold back in. I really like the chrome strip right here. It folds back in and implements so well. You can't even tell that there is running boards. Lastly on the profile, I wanted to mention Ford's passkey entrance system here. So if you wanted to lock your keys inside of your vehicle on purpose, let's say you're going to the beach or something and you just don't have anywhere to put the keys, you can, and then you can create a little passcode and that will lock it inside the vehicle. And then as you can see, the passkey turns off and kind of disappears into that A-pillar. I really like that design. I think more vehicles should implement it, but Ford might actually have a copyright on it. Moving to the back of the Expedition Platinum Max, or as I'm now going to refer to him, just Max, because that's a mouthful to say every time. So moving to the back of Max, you have a hidden towing hitch back here This has standard 6,600 pounds of towing, though there is an optional towing package for the Expedition that boosts it up to 9,000 pounds of towing. You'll have parking sensors down here and your backup camera implemented right there. From the key fob, you can double tap and actually unlock the lift gate, so it'll go up and down automatically. When this is completely open and folded flat, you can control the rows from here. When you fold all the rows down in here, you will have an optional 121.5 cubic feet of storage space. So that's really good. If you can see in here, this has so much storage space since this is the larger body style. Moving into the interior of Max, this thing is crazy well appointed. Leather everything, the stitching is incredible, very comfortable. The armrest here, you get this great beefy armrest that's covered in leather. It's so nice. Down here it's a leather armrest. The stitching is just beautiful on the doors. You're going to get all 4 power windows, of course, your power mirror controls. Below that, you're going to have your buttons to drop the seats in the back, to open the lift gate automatically, your headlights. There's even a button to adjust the pedals, so if you want to bring the pedals forward or backward, if you're shorter or taller, that's a really cool adjustment button. You're going to have tons of settings on here on the steering wheel, so Bluetooth, cruise control, all of that. And then moving into the gauge cluster, you have a huge screen in here. I want to say it's probably about a 6-7 inch screen flanked by 2 traditional gauges. And then this just gives you everything, your blind spot, your gauge view, your tire pressure, your trips, the traditional things on here. In addition to that, you also have off-road settings. As I mentioned before, I doubt you're actually taking one of these things off-road, but it is an option that you can have on this guy. So your tilt and your degrees of ratio, it's crazy how much this gives you. Moving down here, you have your engine start-stop for your power of the vehicle. You have your trailer braking controls right here. And then this is probably the most disappointing part of the interior on this 2020. And as far as I know, it's going to be the same for the 2021 Expedition. It's only an 8-inch screen. This kind of mirrors the center stack of the F-150 of the current body style. I'm sure they'll put the larger screen of the newer body style that's coming in for 2021 into this Expedition at some point. It's a very responsive, very quick screen, but it is a rather small screen for how large and bombastic the rest of this interior is. You'll have your hill descent control, your traction control buttons, your lane departure warning, and then you have your camera view button on here for your 360-degree camera system, as I've mentioned multiple times, and your backup camera. That's really helpful. So below that, you have your controls for the volume and the radio. Below that, you have your climate controls. This Expedition Platinum has heated, cooled, massaging seats. I've been trying out the massaging for research purposes, of course, and it's okay, it's pretty good. A lot of people that I've talked to have presented me the issue, wow, that would be really distracting if you're driving with a massaging seat. But honestly, it's not that distracting. I can really pay attention and focus on the road without having to worry about the seats at all. It's just a slight pressure on my back and then on my thighs, but it is nice. Moving below that, you're gonna get wireless charging, USB and USB-C in here. And then you're going to have this really nice wood texture, and then you have your shifter. This is a dial shifter on here now. Most vehicles are switching to those dial shifters. Below that, you'll have your drive modes, your 4-wheel drive, your low, your high, your 2, and then this actually has a rear locking differential, it looks like. I wasn't aware of that, but it is an option on here. And then below that, you'll have your parking sensors, and this has an automatic parking spot finder. I've demoed this feature on my Ford Escape review in my Ford Explorer video, so you can check out those videos if you want to see that feature. All right, let's see. There's a parking spot right here. I wasn't going to demo this for you guys, but I figure since I am reparking it after I'm wrapped with this review, maybe, oh, please drive forward, found a space. Okay. So I can demo this for you guys to show you how it works. Okay. Where do you want me to stop? Oh, please stop. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in reverse. And look, it is steering itself automatically. Now we're on the backup cam. Now I'm still on the brake, and it is driving itself here, And so I'm watching the mirror because we're getting pretty close to this Explorer, but it knows that. It has parking sensors for that. If it doesn't know, and I'm still on the brake, so I can stop this automatically if I want this to. We're getting pretty close to this other Explorer too, but it's doing it automatically. As you can see, again, it is turning itself completely. Okay, so it says shift to forward. So now it's gonna drive itself forward, and it's gonna do this all automatically. This is crazy. Okay, so stop, shift to reverse, and it's gonna back us in here. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to this pole, but we can back in a little bit more. I'm gonna try to get close to this. Okay, we finished. And then we just put it in park and we're wrapped. Moving over here, you have a 12-volt outlet right here. And then inside here, you have a huge storage console down here. You have another 12-volt down there, and then you can take this out. It looks like it's got a coin holder, and this can slide along in here. You have a pen holder as well. This is just massive. You could fit a huge laptop into here. Very comfortable. These seats are incredibly nice. You're gonna have a Bang & Olufsen sound system. I can't play any music because of copyright, but listening to it, it's a very good system. The bass is okay. I wouldn't say it's the best that I've ever heard in a vehicle. You do get a driver's side grab handle, so this passes the driver's side grab handle check. Yay, Ford Expedition. Finally, thank you, Ford. I really appreciate the driver's side grab handle because basically nobody has this anymore, and especially on a vehicle this big, even with the running boards, it's really nice to have the driver's side grab handle. You'll have your mirror up here and your controls for the power automatic panoramic sunroof, moonroof. I can't remember if it opens, if it's a sunroof. It opens, but you get a whole moonroof here to the second row. It doesn't extend to the third row. But moving back there, you do get 2 climate controls and a dome light. We'll move to the second row very quickly to kind of show you everything about that. But it is really cool. These are power seats, of course. And I think that about wraps up this kind of interior here. It does actually have auto buttons for your garage door opener, which is cool. Not a lot of vehicles include the buttons built into the visor for the garage door controls. So that's really nice. Overall, love the interior in here. If I had any complaints, it would be the screen size, and the bass of the speakers isn't as good as I think it could be. The clarity is very good though on this Bang & Olufsen system. Textures, materials are amazing. It passes the driver's side grab handle test. This would be an excellent vehicle to take a long road trip on. I would love to drive this cross country. Moving to the second row, it is very well appointed back here. You have these nice big captain's chairs, which are just as comfortable as up front. No massaging features, unfortunately, back here, but you do get media controls and climate controls for the rear here on the center console. You'll get 2 USB ports and a household 12-volt outlet back here, as well as heated seats for the second row. It's really nice, very comfortable. The stitching is just as well back here, and you do get your vents, as I mentioned, for the climate controls. Moving into the third row, you do actually get buttons to control the seats back there. It is still pretty cramped back there for a third row, but it's not terrible. I'm 5'10", and I could fit back there pretty nicely on a long road trip. The second row legroom is incredible back here. It is very nice. Obviously, since this is an SUV kind of designed for families, they have really taken care and effort to think about the second and third row passengers. All right, this is a weird angle, but I forgot my suction cup. So you guys are gonna sit in the kind of center console dash storage right there as I give you my driving impressions from way up here. This thing is ginormous. It's really big. It might be one of the biggest vehicles that I've driven for this channel, even bigger than like an F-250. It's probably about the same size. When you look back into the third row, my word, it's humongous. It's crazy how big it is back here. But it doesn't feel huge driving it. You know, when you're driving it, you really feel with the suspension and how smooth it is that it is capable, and it doesn't feel like some of the bigger vehicles of the past. I've driven smaller vehicles than this that feel bigger just because of how weighty it is. Thank you, Justin. Justin is my cameraman. He's holding the camera now. I guess theoretically Justin could just hold the the phone, but you know, we want to try here. Opening it up though, the responsiveness of this thing, when you gun it, it goes. I'm really impressed with it. Like I was saying earlier in the engine section, it is quite impressive how surprisingly this thing picks up, and how quickly you can brake and slow down. It's really, really responsive for only being a V6. And so that really goes to show that Ford's EcoBoosts really know what they're doing. They don't need to put in a big V8, and in turn you save more fuel economy on something this gigantic. You kind of already expect, oh, I'm gonna lose tons of fuel economy on this because it's so big, but realistically you don't. This thing eats up bumps, and it really saves you pretty good fuel economy. It's not great, it's a giant SUV, but still it's better than you would be getting with something that was a V8. So I'm really impressed with the driving of this. This is gonna look so silly, but you know what? This is a silly channel. I like jokes, and I also can laugh at myself and admit when something I do looks really silly in the driving. But you know, I maintain that I want to give you guys driving impressions. So, and you're always asking for it, so I'm doing it. It drives good for a V6. It's surprisingly responsive, and it slows down, and it handles very good for as big as it is. It's very smooth on the suspension, and I'm very impressed with it. So that's the driving dynamics of this humongous Ford Expedition Max. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and so that's gonna wrap up this driving segment of the video. Oh my goodness, if I was a bigger channel, people would make memes out of this. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I really hope you enjoyed it on this Platinum Ford Expedition Max. If you did, you could leave a like. That would really help my channel out, and subscribing would also help me. I'd really appreciate it. You can keep up to date with my new videos coming out, and that helps me to keep doing these reviews for you guys. As always, I hope your vehicle lasts you a long time, it serves you well, and I'm a Christian, so if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section below, and I like to do a daily Bible verse, so here it is. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.